Are you constantly seeing repeating numbers, butterflies, or rainbows? Or maybe you're just having strange, unexplainable experiences that are making you wonder if there's a deeper meaning to all of this? Are you receiving signs or synchronicities from the universe? Or are you just constantly seeing a repeating pattern? In this video, we're going to talk all about synchronicities, signs from the universe, what they mean, and how to actually tell if you are receiving a sign from the universe. But before we really address signs and synchronicities, we really need to talk about spirit guides, what they are, how to know if they're communicating with us, and how they communicate with us in general. So, spirit guides are not human, right? They are from a different plane of existence. They could have been human at one point, but they are not right now. They are either energy or they're off on another planet doing some work. There are so many different things that they could be doing right now, while they're also your spirit guide guiding you in this life. And to the human eye, if we see one in real life, like if my spirit guide were to show up right here, right now, I would probably be pretty scared, right? Like, we are naturally afraid of things that don't look like us. If we came across an extraterrestrial on the street, even if we think that it would be such a cool experience, we probably would be pretty scared. Just coming in contact with something that looks completely different to us can make us throw up our guard and just close off energetically. So, spirit guides, they have so much love for us. They love us so much. They are here from the moment we're born to the moment we die, and so on from there. They are our cheerleaders. They are the ones guiding the process for us throughout our entire lives. We have multiple spirit guides. We have primary spirit guides, like I said, that are there throughout your entire life. And we have spirit guides that are kind of secondary. They come in and out as needed when we're working on different themes. Now, our spirit guides love us so much. They would absolutely never, ever, ever want to scare you. They will do anything in their power to make sure that they don't scare you, because that is never their intention. So, if you are wanting to communicate with a spirit guide or have them show themselves, you can meet them. You're going to do it in a meditation. And if they believe that you will show up in this meditation journey and be afraid, they're not going to come through. They might, send some messages. They might show symbols of themselves, but they're not going to show themselves as they truly are. They might show themselves in a different way, such as a person, like a human, or a ball of light, something that wouldn't be so scary. And when I mean scary, I obviously don't mean they're gonna look scary, but they obviously are not human. So if you do a meditation journey to meet your spirit guides, a lot of times what's going to happen is they're going to hear your call and they will show themselves to you in a dream, whether it's themselves physically or they're going to communicate with you through your dream by sending you signs, symbols, people that are delivering you messages. And if you aren't afraid, if you're understanding the messages on a subconscious level, they're going to start doing that in your waking life as well. Like I said, they're not just going to pop up into your reality. And they could, but they're probably not going to. So what does that have to do with signs and synchronicities? You guessed it, right? That is the sign that your spirit guides are communicating with you. Spirit does not necessarily speak English, which is why a lot of times when we are channeling a being, we hear it as our own thought because it's telepathic. So it's coming through as our own voice. Spirit guides can be doing that as well. But how would a spirit guide communicate with you in your waking life if you're not doing a channeling session? They're going to send you repeating numbers, butterflies, rainbows, just strange occurrences that really just don't make sense or that are happening at the most perfect exact time that it throws your body into full chills. Remember that they are higher dimensional beings. So if they are trying to communicate with us on a 3D level, they have to bring themselves down to meet us. It's like we're kindergartners and they are, college level academics trying to meet somewhere. So they have to bring themselves all the way down, which is really hard. So they cannot speak to us in a way that we can perceive it as actual communication. But does that mean every time we see repeating numbers or strange patterns or a double rainbow, does that mean that it's an actual sign or a synchronicity? Probably not. It most likely isn't. And when it is a true sign or synchronicity, you are going to know it. Trust me, you will know when you receive a message from the other side. There's no denying the feeling that you get in your body where you're just like, holy crap, how is this real right now? How is this happening? You might get full body chills. You might feel like you're on a roller coaster and your stomach just dropped. It's such a strange feeling that your body physically responds to it. And of course, that's not to say that seeing 1111 every day isn't meaningful, but if you do see it every single day, it's not giving you that same feeling. It's just, okay, I'm starting to see this all the time, that maybe you are just noticing it more because you see it every day. It's like your brain is looking for that pattern. Whereas if you are having a horrible day and you feel like crap and you're just like, oh, I just wish the universe would give me a sign, and then you look at the clock and it says 11:11, that would be a sign, you know? Or maybe you hear something on the radio that's just like says something so perfect that you just needed to hear it in that moment. That is a message from the other side. A sign or a synchronicity is going to be so incredibly meaningful and powerful to you. And most of the time, these signs are just going to be an affirmative yes. That's all, just a yes. Like, yes, you are on the right path. You know, when I first was getting into spirituality and seeing repeating numbers, I started Googling, what do they mean? What do they mean? And most of the time they mean a variation of you're on the right path. And that's because they cannot communicate with us in the way that we want them to. They can't give us full messages unless we're in a channel or unless they come through the radio or in a form like that. But if we're in a moment where we just need validation, we just need a sign that everything's gonna be okay, and it happens, that's when we know, okay, everything is fine. I am divinely guided in this moment. I am safe. I am secure. I am being protected and watched over. So are you still confused of whether you are seeing a sign or a synchronicity, or if you're just witnessing a repeating pattern? I'm going to give you 2 examples from my life that were full messages from the other side. Undeniably, these are ones that have stuck with me. One just happened the other day, so I'm going to share with you those experiences. The first one happened a few years ago. I was commuting to my college, which was about 90 minutes each way. It was a long ride. And on these rides, I would always think about my life. I would almost be in one of those trances where you're driving for so long and you don't remember how you got to point A from point B. It was kind of like that, and I was in one of those trances and I just was crying. I was so upset. I was in a really hard time in my life thinking, what the hell am I doing? This isn't what I want to be doing. I just feel like such a loser, like all these different things. And I got a vision in my head of myself in the future doing something really cool. I don't want to talk about really what it was, but I just got this vision in my head and it kind of brought me back to reality, like, okay, I'm fine. Everything's gonna be okay. But I was still like really shaken up. And remember, I did these drives 3-4 times a week and I would drive the same route at the same time. So I was still crying, and all of a sudden, this train starts flying past me. So I'm going this way, they're going this way, and I've never ever seen a train. I knew there were tracks there, but I've never seen the train. I didn't even realize that those tracks were still active because it ran parallel to the road that I was on. The train flew by so fast, it still gives me chills. And the number on the train was 114. Those numbers, 1s and 4s, are the most meaningful numbers to me. 114 is actually my birthday. Any variation of 1s and 4s is very meaningful to me. So I see this train and it flies by with my number right on the top. And in that moment, my whole body went in full chills mode. I started sobbing because I felt the presence of God with me. I felt so safe and so protected, like that vision that I had is true. It is my life, and I am being divinely guided there, no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling at any moment in time. So when you have a sign like that or such a meaningful message come through that to somebody else, like you might be hearing that and you're like, okay, that's not that special, but in the moment you feel it. And I know you've had some of those experiences as well, which I would love to hear in the comments below. If you have a memory like this that just blows you away, let me know. So the next one that I'm going to share with you happened the other day. So on my channel, I changed my YouTube channel name, right? The Aurora Codes. It was not that before if you're new here. It was Courtney Violetta, my name. And I had this name planned out for about 2 weeks before I ended up changing it on my channel. I actually changed it on my Instagram maybe a week or so before I changed it on my channel. And I don't know what I was waiting for. Maybe I felt a little bit uneasy about the change. I had the video filmed and edited. I just didn't post it for a certain amount of time. The day I posted that video was September 6th. The day after, I think it was September 7th, I went onto Instagram and I saw a post from the Gene Keys that I follow, and I'm studying the Gene Keys, that had the Auroras. And I was like, of course I'm gonna go watch that, right? So I click on it. I'm gonna watch it right now because it's just mind-blowing. The Gene Keys, like astrology and human design, I believe, we progress through the different gene keys throughout the year. So it's like going through different signs in the zodiac. It's like we progress through the different gene keys. So the post said, September 4th to September 9th, the 64th gene key moves from the shadow of confusion to the city of illumination, and it's the way of imagination. And this gene key is called the Aurora. It's like literally the Auroras. I was just like, okay, that's strange, right? This time period that I'm changing my YouTube channel to the Aurora Codes just so happens to be the gene key of the Auroras. Strange, but okay. So then I go into the Gene Keys book, which is humongous, by the way. It's the last gene key, and it talks about the mystery of the inner light. Now, in the video where I announced my YouTube channel name changing, I talked about how meaningful the Auroras are to me because it's like the light that is illuminating the darkness, our shadows, the things we don't want to acknowledge about ourselves. By tapping into this concept of the Auroras, this beauty within the darkness, it is illuminating the things that we don't want to see and transmuting them. It's just so interesting how the shadow was confusion, which is how I felt about my channel, about my path for so long. Even in what I just told you about when I was driving on that road, I was thinking about how confused I was about my life. And the city, which is like the ultimate goal, is illumination. The darkness is illuminating. And again, in the video where I was talking about changing my channel name, making that announcement, I was talking about how I'm coming into my true authenticity. I used to find it so difficult to create content because I was seeing what everybody else was doing and it wasn't working for me. And I came to the realization that as much as I want to make videos about certain things, like for fun and just things that make me feel creative, like the purpose of my channel is more about teaching and guiding people and being my true authentic self. And this says, the other great power of imagination is that it spells the death of imitation. Those who manifest the 64th city are those who teach spontaneously. They will use anything they feel like using as an illustration of what it means to be one with the truth. There's no logic or pattern to such people or their teachings. I know that probably means nothing to you guys, but like, again, in that moment, full body chills. What are the odds that I decide to randomly change my YouTube channel name that day when I could have changed it a week before because I had everything ready and I was just holding on for whatever reason. And then it was the Auroras. It like felt like divine destiny in that moment. Like, holy crap, I was tapped into something. So I just wanted to share those as like examples of what it means to truly feel that message, because it doesn't matter what it feels like to anybody else or, you know, how anybody else would interpret it. It is what you feel. So if you look at the clock and see 555 and you feel those chills because it comes at just the right moment, or maybe you see butterflies all the time, same monarch butterflies, but that one day that you need a sign or you ask for a sign or you need a message of some sort and those monarch butterflies come your way, that can be the sign that you were waiting to receive. So I know that the sun is kind of getting to me right now, but if you've waited this long, if you've watched this video to the very end, you got a message from Spirit coming your way. I wanted to pull a card for you to see what message the universe has, because I guarantee barely anybody made it to the end of this video. Let me know if you did, because I'm gonna pull a card and this is for you, okay? Let me get into my zone. I shuffle like this. Oh, there we go. Okay, you guys ready for your message? Dearest you, isn't it amazing how things seem to come around again, full circle, in ways you could not possibly have planned? You wonder how a dream could die, only to be resurrected years later when you're really ready. You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self, whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things from a different, more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in 2 directions, and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places of infinite potential are waiting to guide you into your fullest life. Big bounty will come if you remain in the present. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, and is given new hope. Loving you always. There you guys go. That was your message. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what crazy signs, synchronicities, messages you've received in the past that have stuck with you. And if you're new here, subscribe to the Aurora codes. I'm so excited to have you, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye.